The 2025 J.R. Nelson Ryder Cup is presented by Ortman and Stepanovich Funeral Homes. This is the Captain's Interview. Hello and welcome to the 2025 J.R. Nelson Ryder Cup Captain's Interview. This year we have Captain Ethan Ortman and Captain T.J. Burke. Welcome, gentlemen. For our first question, what does the captaincy mean to you?
Thanks, Joe. Being a captain to me is just something really special. Some legends throughout the history of this tournament have gotten to call themselves captains, and it's a really special thing to me to be able to be a part of that club. More importantly, though, being a captain means a shot at becoming a champion and putting my name down in history on the side of that cup. And feel like I've been playing pretty well, and I'm going to come into this tournament with everything I got, and so hopefully I can execute and make it all happen.
Yeah, I unlike Ethan, kind of just game planning for a championship. I don't think he should be thinking like that, but this really is a true honor. To be honest, I think it might be one of the most, if not the most important thing I've done this year, to be honest. Been planning for this all year. Game planning, going out to the range, even brought the range back home to my house now. So we're ready to go.
Just a quick, easy question for you guys. What's been one of your favorite memories from the last 5 years of this tournament? Ethan, I'll start with you again.
I think looking back on the second year of the tournament in 2022 back in Columbia, Missouri, thinking back to a moment where really the namesake of our tournament came out there, Johnny Nelson, and hit the first drive, the opening drive. That was a really special moment for the tournament, and that's definitely my number one moment in the history of the tournament.
Yeah, Joe, I was actually trying to rack my brain for what I do really remember from the last 6 years of this tournament. I think it does go back to that first round as well. Actually, my own very partner, Kyle Rudberg, Chops, as he's known, sitting on a par three, 136. We're debating the rest of us between a pitching wedge and a 9-iron. He pulls out a 56-degree wedge and tells us, "Don't worry." I was worried, and Kyle stuck it to 6 feet. So something I'll never forget there, Joe.
Ethan, this question's specifically for you. In 6 years of this tournament, we haven't yet seen a hole in one. Obviously, you're going to be happy about anybody getting a hole in one, but is there anyone that you have in mind, particularly that you just be pretty upset got one before you did?
Zach Quas.
TJ, starting with you, how are we feeling? What's the handicap down to? What's been the best strength of your game over the last couple months?
Yeah, feeling good. Actually, thanks, Joe. Ethan actually convinced me to get the Gin app, so that way I could be more official, as the pros call it. But so still limited rounds in on there. But actually, up until last week, we were pulling in at a 4.3 handicap on there. It has since adjusted to an 8.4 since that last round. So just trying to dial it in. 18 birdies, probably more reliable, shooting around an 11-11 at the current moment. So I'd say just as competitive as ever, just as dangerous as ever. Don't let them get hot.
Yeah, Ethan, what about you?
Well, Joe, I think my game is in a really good spot right now, and the goal is to just keep it in this good spot and maybe improve on it a little bit come 3 weeks from now. The handicap's sitting at a 9.9, which is single digits, not as low as I would like it to be, but I think it's a respectable handicap, and I'm excited to get out there and hopefully make it lower.
So, Ethan, how will you beat Captain Burke?
Well, TJ Burke is soft. I think I'm just going to start out with that. If you look back last year, I think everybody remembers this. It's one of the most notable moments in Ryder Cup history. Burke went out And one of his many vices is drinking a little bit too much. And I think he paid the price for it on Saturday when he missed the first 9 holes of a Saturday match. And luckily he was paired with one of the best golfers in the history of the tournament, so they were able to stay in it. When he came back, they were able to secure the win. But I just think Burke is he's gonna do it to himself, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and you mentioned best golfer in the history of the tournament. I'm unaware. Who was that?
No, one of the best golfers in the history of the tournament.
Yeah, well, what was his name?
His name was Ethan Ortman, actually.
Oh, you. Okay, got it. You
Yeah.
were paired with. Okay, got it. Okay. Well, appreciate the clarification. And TJ, again, going back to this, are there any obvious weaknesses to Ethan's, or maybe some even that aren't as obvious that you think that are going to help, facilitate a win in this event for you?
Yeah, well, Joe, first of all, my first thought on this for Ethan was definitely big titty broads. Man can't stay away from them. But obviously, as you just saw, and Ethan's memory is going to be, it's going to be difficult for him out there. Everything's going to be staying in his mind, except for the fact that he was a little off in the long-term memory there. If you do remember last year, he was down going into the back nine. And then when I did make the return, we did turn out to win that match. So just making sure that he can remember at least that. I'm sure he'll remember every single bad shot that he's hitting out there. So I think that might get him, Joe.
More on a positive spin. TJ, I'll ask this one for you first. Are there any dark horses out there that maybe you have a little bit of inside intel, or maybe you just have a good feel and a good vibe about this person?
Oh, Joe, good question, because I've been watching the 18 birdies feed all spring long, and that man Jay Bumstead, he's out there getting his hacks in. He's putting in the work out there, and I'm seeing those scores. They're going down. So I'd watch out for that man, Jay.
And Ethan, anybody that catches your eye?
Yeah, I had the fortune of playing golf with Matt Wasson this past weekend, and he really just surprised everybody out there. He went out there, shot a personal best, broke 100. Saw him sink a couple of pretty long putts, and I think he's really going to come out and turn some heads.
Yeah, absolutely. Next question I have for you, kind of on the opposite side. Anybody you're staying away from? Anybody on the 18 Birdies app that you have a couple questions about that might need a little bit more intel on? TJ, I'll start with you.
Zach Quas.
And Ethan? Same
Yeah, I'm
question?
probably going to echo that and say Zach was.
That does it for this year's captain's interview. Thank you to our captains, TJ Burke and Ethan Norman. We look forward to the great competition over the next 2 days. Good luck, fellas.